Alrighty, hosses, welcome back. And in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how search engines work. Now, before we begin, I actually am going to recommend something, and that is whenever you're working with SEO and you want to determine the actual ranking of your website, then it's always a good idea to go to the options and go to new incognito window, or you can just do Control-Shift-N. And if you guys don't know what an incognito window is, let me move this so you guys can see. It's basically a special mode in Chrome or any browser where it doesn't keep your history or cookies or a lot of the tracking data. And if you guys are wondering why do I recommend that, it's because whenever you're looking at these search results, you don't want them personalized to you. Now I'm going to tell you guys a story. This is actually pretty funny. I used to work with this guy from Louville, and Louville is this really crappy town next to where I live. There was like 4 people who lived there. And, you know, there's just nothing there. I think the biggest building is like 2 stories tall. And I was talking to him, and he's like, "Did you know that Louville is actually really popular?" I'm like, What are you talking about? He's like, "Yeah, I was on Google and I typed in LO, and Louville was the first thing that popped up." And I'm just smacking my head. I'm like, dude. And I had to tell him that that was pretty much just personalized to his results because Google knew his location and he probably searched for Louville stuff before, whatever it was, who knows. But that's what incognito mode does. And also, pro tip, if you ever are doing anything on the computer that, I don't know, maybe you don't want your girlfriend to find out about, you don't want that in your browser history, then you can go to incognito mode as well. Okay, I don't know why you would ever do that, but whatever. Anyways, back to SEO. So how do search engines work? Basically, whenever it finds a new website or an existing website and it just wants to crawl it again, every search engine from Google to Yahoo to Bing, they all have these special programs, and people call them spiders, some people call them bots, but essentially what they are automated programs that go to a website and it starts crawling it, going through page by page, every single page that it can find. Now, on these pages, it starts gathering information. It gathers all of the links, it looks at some of the most common keywords, and it pretty much just tries to get a general idea of what each page is. Now, if you guys are familiar with HTML, I'll give you guys a really cool tip. If you go to page source, and let me do this. Inspect, edit as HTML. I'll show you guys that if you just get rid of all the CSS right here, just delete that. And if you guys don't know what I'm doing, don't really worry about it. So if you remove all the style sheets, then you can see your website kind of through a bot's eyes. So this is how a spider or a bot sees your website. So it's not looking at the background color or that fancy menu you made. What it's looking at is all of the links, all of the headers. It wants to see what's bolded, what keywords are on there, all of the raw data. And we'll take a look at what one of these things are important and what ones aren't that important later on. But basically, that's what it's going to do and gather all of this info. So now it crawled all the pages on your website, and it has it, and it actually stores it in a big database. And whenever I say big database, I mean like really big. Google's has like multiple buildings for their data centers, so it's not like, you know, a couple hard drives. So basically, what's going to happen is whenever someone types in any keyword, like the new Boston, it's going to look at its database and says, okay, I crawled a bunch of websites. What websites are relevant to this keyword? Now, another thing I want to point out real quick is whenever I say keyword, I don't just mean one word. Whenever you use the term keyword in SEO lingo, it can mean one word like programming, or it can mean a phrase or a query like how to program. So whenever I say keyword, how to program, this entire phrase can be a keyword. So I just want to say that so I don't confuse you guys. Alright, so far simple enough, but now we have a question. What happens if, let's say, a user types in monkeys and there are 137 million websites that are relevant to monkeys? Because we know that it has all this info and all that stuff, but now what Google's formula and what Yahoo and Bing's formula have to do is they need to use a bunch of different variables to determine what is the most relevant website. Now, these are the variables that we're going to be taking a look at in the upcoming videos, but basically there are a lot of different factors and they're not all weighed equally. So for example, it's going to look at a couple different things, and we'll look at each one of these things in particular, but it's going to look at a thing like the title right here. So the title of the web page, maybe I'm just making up a fake scale like of 1 to 100. Maybe this has like a 60 importance. Maybe if you use the keywords in the heading, then maybe they only have a 15. Maybe if there are a few keywords like monkeys in just the regular text, then it only may have like a 3 out of 100 importance. So we're going to be taking a look at all of these different variables right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to be breaking it down, and I'm going to show you guys the best way where you can pretty much utilize your time and bump your search result rankings through the roof. And just a word of warning, all of these search engines, Google, Yahoo, Bing, they don't use the same formula. They all have different formulas, and that's why whenever you type something into Google, you're going to get completely different results right here than Bing or Yahoo. However, the techniques I'm going to be teaching you guys are going to be good for every single search engine. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. For now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.